Coming up next, Rolling Stone magazine telling the young and the restless to fight for guaranteed work from the government. But would that guarantee high unemployment for everyone?
When you get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone.
A guaranteed job. Well, yesterday's jobs report showing a huge 15.9% unemployment rate for young Americans when you include the number who stopped looking for work altogether. But fear not. The current issue of Rolling Stone magazine has an answer for millennials. And here's their #1 reform the magazine wants millennials to fight for: government guaranteed work for everybody. But Steve Forbe says history shows that doesn't work exactly the way they planned. And Steve, let me just show, first of all, what it is Rolling Stone says. Imagine a world where people could contribute the skills that inspire them rather than telemarketing or whatever other stupid tasks their millionaire bosses require. And then let me read to you from another document. This is the USSR Constitution. Says citizens of the USSR have the right to work, including the right to choose their type or profession, type of job, and work in accordance with their inclinations, abilities, training, and education. I don't see any difference. Do you?
There isn't, David. This kind of guarantees stagnation. There used to be a saying in the Soviet Union: we pretend to work, they pretend to pay us. If you don't have productive work, you don't create the wealth that makes a higher standard of living possible. So you get make-work jobs, people don't really do the work, and an economy and people stagnate. If you don't create capital, you don't move forward.
Steve Bertoni, the Soviets tried it for 70 years and it didn't work. Why does the Rolling Stone think it will this time?
I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, it sounds great. It's warm and fuzzy, but it looks good on paper. In the real world, what are these jobs, and where's the money coming from?
Well, you have an idea for the real world. What is it?
I have a compromise, if you will. What if the government, maybe after high school or after college, you have a year stipend, and then you can go and do a job, volunteer work, community service, get out of that high school, college bubble, and help the community and get an education in the real life for a year, and then go on. So you can't do it guaranteed for a lifetime, but hey, kind of like how Israel and South Korea have its military service, but why can't we have a one-year volunteer service for people making that transition?
Well, Rich, we have to do something. We have something called the misery index. It's a combination of things. First of all, youth unemployment, college loan debt figures, and each person's share of the national debt. Now, we've been tracking this since the 90s. It has gone up to 98.6. This is a record high. We got to do something.
Yeah, we have to do something, and actually Steve Bertoni's idea is worth experimenting with at a lower form of government than the federal government. Why not try it at a state level and see what happens? But there are so many reforms that we have to have. We have to stop punishing employers, particularly blue-collar employers who in the energy extraction industries, transportation industries. These are under the thumb of so many regulations that it makes it hard for them to employ people with high school educations.
Well, Emac, you have something similar to Steve Bertoni. By the way, I don't think we're going to find any takers on this Rolling Stone USSR plan, but what's your idea, Emac?
Well, I was just saying, you know, we talked a lot about infrastructure spending and how we need that. If you can get it past these crooked state capitals, that might be a good way to do it. And stop the duplication and waste in the welfare state and in government. In other words, zap the president's stimulus plan and just do a full bore fixing the bridges and roads. Listen, I'm not about, you know, it takes a government village to fix the economy. This idea that the government can sow magic beans or the state-controlled version of fairness, meaning state-controlled version of outcomes, that doesn't, it has never worked. And David, you see it in China and India. They're moving away from those kinds of economic theories.
Well, John Tamney, I'm wondering what the millennials will go for. The Rolling Stone used to speak for the millennials. I'm not sure it does anymore, but they've got a choice. They can either look at what has been done over the past 6 years, see if bigger government has helped, and clearly it hasn't with the misery index, and say maybe we should try something different, or go all in like the Rolling Stone suggests. What do you think they'll choose?
Well, you know, it's really very simple. If we want every American to have a job, let's abolish computers, ATM machines, and tractors. Everyone will be working, and everyone will also be intensely poor. But back in the land of the sane that I think we reside in, if you want good jobs, you have to match capital with entrepreneurs. Yes, you must get investment to those demonized 1%ers who create all the interesting businesses that, for growing, lead to jobs that we all enjoy.
But Mike Ozanian, what do you think the 20-somethings will choose? Will they they double up on this big government bet, or will they say, look, it's time for something different?
No, David, I think that they want something different. I think what they want is they want to be the next Bruno Mars. They want to be another founder of Facebook. They want to be another CEO of Apple. That's what they want. And to John Tamny's point, he's absolutely right. What the government should be focusing on is removing the barriers for young people to be successful. For example, why not get rid of the corporate income tax, which is nothing but a pass-through tax on individuals? Get the Fed out of the way, which is nothing but been an obstacle for entrepreneurs and business startups from getting capital. Let the economy thrive by getting entrepreneurship back. Forget about expanding the size of the post office or the I.R.S.
Well, if you're going to have an experiment, why not try the free market? We haven't tried that in a while yet. All right, coming up, what